Good day, everyone. So, today we are going to discuss Chapter 12 Financial Management. So, in today's digital environment, IT is no longer just a support function, it is a major driver of cost, risk, and strategic value. Because of this, IT financial management has become essential to ensure technology investments are properly planned, controlled, and aligned with business objectives. So, why has IT financial management become so important in modern organizations? First, IT spending continues to increase across industries. As organizations rely more on digital platforms, cloud services, cybersecurity, and data analytics, technology has become a major cost driver. Without proper oversight, costs can grow faster than the value delivered. Second, regulatory requirements are driving additional IT costs. Compliance with data privacy, security, and financial reporting standards requires continuous investment in systems and controls. Third, organizations face pressure to keep budgets flat or reduced, even while expecting IT to deliver more innovation and better service. This creates tension between demand and limited resources. Finally, because of this pressure, organizations need a solid financial framework. IT financial management provides the structure to plan, control, and justify technology spending so that every investment supports business value. IT financial management has several key objectives. First, it ensures control over IT spending by providing clear visibility into costs and monitoring how funds are used. Second, it prevents both overspending and underinvestment, recognizing that cutting IT too aggressively can create operational and competitive risks. Third, it aligns IT investments with business goals, ensuring that technology directly supports strategic priorities rather than operating independently. Fourth, it ensures that expected benefits from IT projects are actually realized after implementation. And finally, it improves organizational understanding of IT costs, which leads to a more disciplined and collaborative decision making. To rationalize IT financial management, the framework highlights two key processes. The first is PO5 Manage the IT Investment, which focuses on planning, prioritizing, and monitoring IT spending. Its control objectives include establishing the financial management framework, prioritizing within the IT budget, executing the IT budgeting process, managing costs, and ensuring benefits are realized. The second is DS6 Identify and Allocate Costs, which focuses on transparency and fairness in cost distribution. It covers defining IT services, performing IT accounting, developing cost models and charging mechanisms, and maintaining the cost model over time. With this foundation in place, we can now move deeper into how organizations plan, price, and allocate IT costs in practice.
Financial management framework sets the structure for how financial decisions are made in an organization. First, it defines decision-making rights and responsibilities. So this means it clearly identifies who has the authority to approve investments and who is accountable for the financial results. Second, it establishes rules for IT investment decisions. So yung project are not approved casually. There is a standard process to ensure evaluation is consistent and fair. Next, IT investment must be aligned with the enterprise architecture. So this means that technology being purchased or developed should align with the company's overall strategy and technical standards. And lastly, there is an IT investment committee. So they are responsible for reviewing and approving major IT proposals. And paano ba ina-approve ang investment? So may tinatawag tayo na investment approval process. And there are 6 major components of an investment approval request. So first is the business need. So it must clearly explain why the project is necessary and what problem it aims to solve. Second is the financial return and contingencies. So, yung expected benefits, cost, and potential risk must be evaluated. And next, yung alternative must be considered. So, it cannot be limited to just one option. So, other possible solutions should also be analyze. And next is yung business issues and assumption must be identified, including yung operational risk and limitations. And yung legal, legislative, environment, and safety issues must also be considered to ensure the project complies with regulations. And lastly, the required resources and proposed technology must be clearly defined, including yung budget, manpower, and yung infrastructure needed. And once the investment is approved, the next concern natin is yung pricing. And may tinatawag tayo na project pricing. So in project pricing, it is not enough to consider only the obvious cost. So yung total development and infrastructure cost must also be included. And sometimes in project pricing, external providers underestimate cost, which can lead to budget overruns. And another issue is yung poor communication between IT and users. So when expectations are unclear, conflicts may arise. And additionally, a one-size-fits-all technology approach is not effective or ineffective. Different departments have different needs. So yung solution should be customized. And yung proper pricing helps prevent financial surprises. And may tinatawag din tayong financial planning. So financial planning ensures that IT investments are properly budgeted and aligned with company goals. And there are two approaches. First is the top-down approach. So in this method, top management sets the overall budget limits and departments adjust their plans within that limit. And this approach is more controlled and aligned with the strategy. And second is the bottom-up approach. So here, departments prepare their own budget proposals based on their needs, and management reviews and consolidates them. So this approach is more detailed and realistic. So in addition to planning approaches, we also have two main budget components. First is the operating budget. So this covers the day-to-day expenses of the IT departments, including in salaries, software subscriptions, and system maintenance. So basically, the operating budget covers daily operations and planned service for the year. So next is the capital budget. Yung capital budgeting refers to long-term projects such as yung new system, develop software, servers, and network. So this requires significant investment but provide benefits for many years. So in short, capital budgeting helps the company decides which long-term IT investment are worth pursuing.
As organizations rely more on technology, IT services create significant costs. Problems occur when departments use the services without knowing how much they actually cost. To manage this, organizations use IT chargeback systems which assign IT expenses to the departments that use the services. Simply put, IT chargeback means users pay for the IT services they use. Chargeback is not only about accounting, it also helps organizations manage technology resources better. First, it promotes accountability because departments become more careful when they know services have costs. Second, it provides cost visibility, helping employees understand that IT includes infrastructure, maintenance, cybersecurity, and technical support. Third, it encourages responsible consumption, since charging based on usage helps control unnecessary demand. And to apply chargeback, organizations may use different models depending on their needs. The no chargeback model treats IT costs as general overhead. This is simple but lacks accountability because users do not see the cost impact. The non-IT based chargeback model, on the other hand, allocates costs using business measures such as revenue percentage or number of employees. It is easy to apply but may not reflect actual IT usage. The IT-based chargeback model charges based on IT measurements like number of systems or devices, creating a clearer link between usage and cost, although it can be more difficult to implement. Some organizations may also use direct chargeback, where services are billed directly to the department receiving them, and fee-based chargeback, where departments pay a fixed service fee. Another approach is the business-based chargeback model, which allocates costs based on business transactions. And lastly, profit-oriented pricing, which allows IT departments to charge similarly to external service providers. So each organization selects a model based on fairness, complexity, and management objectives. And after deciding how costs are distributed, the next step is understanding how these costs are actually applied, which brings us to the charging methods. Before discussing the charging methods, it is important to understand transfer pricing. Transfer pricing is the method used to assign the cost of IT services provided internally to the business units that use them. This is especially important for multinational organizations where services are shared across different countries. To ensure fairness, international guidelines require that internal service prices follow the arm's length principle. This means the price charged for internal IT services should be similar to what an independent external provider would charge under the same conditions. And because of this requirement, organizations must choose an appropriate charging method to allocate IT service costs to the departments or entities that benefit from them. And there are two common approaches used to charge IT services. First is the direct charging method. In this method, the cost of the service is charged directly to the department that received the service. This is applied when the service can be clearly identified and regularly provided to a specific user. The second one is the indirect charging method, which is the most commonly used. This method is applied when IT services are shared by many departments and it is difficult to measure the exact usage of each one. Instead, costs are allocated using reasonable estimates such as the number of employees or level of usage. So these charging methods help organizations distribute IT costs in a fair and a practical way while following the arm's length principle.
Moving on to the next topics, which are pricing of services and the IT asset management. In the US guidance, services between related parties are classified into two, whether it is an integral or a non-integral service. In order to become an integral service, it must meet one of four criteria. First is provider or recipient is in the business of providing similar services to unrelated parties. Second, provider delivers services to related parties as a principal activity or 25 or greater percent of their total cost. The provider is peculiarly capable of rendering that service. And fourth, the recipient has received a substantial level of services. If they do not meet one of criteria, then it is considered as a non-integral service. This classification exists so we can determine the price between the services. If it is integral, it must be priced at arm's length or market value. If it is non-integral, it is priced equal to the total cost or deductions incurred. Next, the IT asset management, or the process of tracking hardware and software assets throughout their lifecycle. The benefits are more accurate cost estimates for computer assets, better purchase and deployment decisions, optimal management of computer life cycles, better use of warranty and service contract, improved planning for future acquisition, and greater security for existing assets. The goal of IT asset management is not just to keep an inventory, but to ensure assets are properly utilized, cost efficient, secure, and aligned with business objectives. In IT asset management, there are two major components: the asset management tools, which are software systems used to monitor and control hardware and software across the organization. They check the inventory of IT resources and generate reports on how many IT resources are owned and are currently being used. In short, asset management tools provide visibility and control over IT resources. The second major component is understanding and managing costs. Organizations must not only look at the purchase price of hardware and software, but also consider the hidden costs such as installation, training, and maintenance, also called the total cost of ownership. Without proper cost management, IT spending can easily exceed budget and reduce overall efficiency. Now that we have established the two major components, let us now go to the optimization strategies in IT asset management. The first strategy is refreshing technology, which basically means replacing outdated hardware and software at the right time. While keeping old systems may seem cheaper, it often leads to higher maintenance costs and security risk. The second is standardizing technology. This involves using common systems and platforms across the entire organization. Standardization reduces complexity and lowers training costs and makes systems easier to manage and support. Third is consolidating infrastructure, which means centralizing servers and systems instead of maintaining multiple scattered locations into one. Consolidation can reduce operational costs and improve monitoring, but requires strong disaster recovery and security planning. Fourth is managing demand and service levels. Higher service levels means higher costs. By defining clear standards and controlling usage, organizations can balance performance and affordability. Lastly, standardizing governance and processes. This ensures that IT decisions follow clear policies and align with business goals. This improves accountability, reduces confusion, and supports long term efficiency.
Overall, IT financial management is about ensuring that every peso spent on technology delivers a measurable return. It moves us away from simply buying technology and towards strategically investing in business outcomes. Our discussion made one thing clear. As IT costs rise, we can't afford to be vague with our finances. We need disciplined planning and a rock solid link between our IT projects and our actual business goals. We explored how structured processes helps us make the big calls like deciding which investments get funded and how we measure the true cost of a service. By using chargebacks and pricing, we aren't just sending bills, we are encouraging everyone to be more responsible with the resources they use. Through tools like transfer pricing and asset management, we ensure that costs are fair and every piece of hardware or software is accounted for. The bottom line: great IT financial management changes the narrative. IT stops IT from being seen as just a cost center and turns it into a transparent, high value partner that drives the whole company forward.